Okay. So, all right. So thank you so much, number one, for agreeing to just kind of one, answer some of these questions and to be so open about your story and your journey. I know that there are so many women in your spot who have felt like they've either tried everything, they're considering something, but they're nervous because they've tried everything and nothing's worked. And so I just know that sharing these stories can be so inspirational for somebody else to create a very similar transformation that you have had. So, first, would you mind just kind of sharing a little bit like where you were
Mhm.
before you signed up for Strong Mama?
Yeah, no, for sure. So before I started Strong Mama, like you just said, I genuinely tried everything. Like I feel like if there's a diet fad out there, I tried it and it just like never stuck. Like I always felt like I was restricting myself or I just like wasn't enjoying it or I just felt like it was like too much and then I would fall off the wagon a lot easier. Um, so I would say that I was trying a lot of different things and I also was not prioritizing working out. I was trying to get walks in, but I was not doing and spending workouts. So
Yeah.
much less physically fit, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That's fair. And trying to
Yeah.
concentrate on the diet, which,
Mhm.
as we know, like 80% of your progress is
Yeah.
going to come from that diet, right? But it's also not going to come, as you know, from restricting or from an
Yeah.
actual diet, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we want to, so what do you think was the biggest difference between some of those kind of diets
Mhm.
or things that you tried before to the nutrition that we go through in this program?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I feel like I know we've talked about this. I think it's the protein, like one of the like prioritizing protein. I was always afraid of protein. I feel
Mhm.
like I was always like, wait, I don't know if I want to do protein. Like, is that really going to help me lose weight? Is that really going to help me meet my goals? So I think focusing on the protein intake has helped me immensely. Like I feel like I consistently see progress and it hasn't been at first it was hard to increase the protein, but now it's just like second nature. Like I feel like I'm just eating things that I enjoy. But I think too is I'm not as restrictive. So I'm not like truly saying no to everything. Like I'm still enjoying things that I like and I've just made minor tweaks to
Mhm.
things that I enjoy. So I think like in week one we talked about coffee creamer. And so like I think just like simple swaps, I'm like still enjoying things that I enjoy, but just like healthier options. But I think too, just like the mindset and just keeping in the back of my mind is and things I've learned like through the Strong Mama program is I don't always feel the best when I have the bad foods. And so just like thinking about like, okay, if I do eat that, like how am I going to feel after I eat that? And it's usually never good. So I think just like, keeping that in mind, like has helped me make better choices. Like when we go out to eat or when I'm with friends and family. So that I think that like the biggest thing for me is like, I don't feel like I'm on a very strict diet. I feel like I'm just like making better choices.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned the mindset of it too, because as you know, obviously that's such a huge component of this program that I think makes it so different from so many other things that are out there. And we've talked so many times about like how many breakthroughs you've had, how many mindset shifts you had, how you view food differently, how you view some of these just like going out experiences differently, right? And I love I've loved watching that transformation of just like you said, how you view food and view events and things like that as well. So that's awesome. So what I'm curious of is what like what pushed you into taking this leap then with me those
Mhm.
3 months ago?
You know, it just felt like right time. It was like bizarre. I feel like I saw a post on Facebook and I was like, oh, I'm like actually really interested in this. I think I added you on all the platforms and we started talking and I've looked at other things. Like I've looked at other programs, I've looked at working with other people and it just never felt like a good fit.
Mhm.
And I was always like, maybe just like too much or just like the personalities didn't click. And then it was like, okay, this is mama focused.
Mhm.
Like we are a group of moms, which I think is huge because we can relate to all the things that come with motherhood, and the craziness of it. So I think like that really like hit home for me like 3 months ago. And I knew that at that time, like I was trying to lose weight and eat better on my own, but I wasn't seeing the goals that I wanted to see. And I
Mhm.
always struggled like, what workout should I do? Or how many times do I need to walk? Or what should my goals be when it came to the fitness side? And I always kind of struggled with that. And so I never really prioritized it. And
Mhm.
so I think at that point, when I came across the Strong Mama program, I was just like, this just like feels like the right time, like right place, right time. And I'm so glad that I did because it's been amazing. But yeah, no, I feel like it was just like a really good fit. And it was the irony of coming across it at the time was just like, it was just perfect.
Mhm. Yes, you listened to those signs.
I know it was weird. It was like it was like a sign. I was like, okay, like I need to do this. And then I remember like before I even had reached out and like considered this, like talking to my mom about it and like talking to my husband about it, and, like just feels like this is like something that I really want to do and like take seriously. And I knew that if I did take that leap, that I would have to like hold myself accountable because it was something that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for 12 weeks. Like no matter what, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna try my best. And I feel like each week it got a little bit easier. I think at the beginning it's always a little hard and it's a little scary, but I think like each week and like the different resources and just like meeting with you has like really helped just like keep me on track. So I'm like, I'm so thankful for all of it. But yeah, that's where I was 3 months ago. That's where my mind was.
Good. And I honestly, I love that you did say like this was scary and this was hard,
Mhm.
and it was a leap, and you knew in one hand where you're like, okay, I need to do this. Like I need
Mhm.
to commit to myself, but that fear and that hesitation was still there a little
For
bit.
sure. For sure.
So what would you say to somebody who is probably in that same spot of like, I need something to change, but like, oh, what if it doesn't work? And they have that fear and that hesitation.
Just do it. You can do it. I think I feel like at my point, like I have genuinely tried so many different things. And so I feel like just like trust yourself. Just like take the leap. And if you're ready, just do it.
Mhm.
And you'll thank yourself. And I think just having like a strong support system behind you will definitely helps. And I think just like being in this program, it kept me on track because I knew I signed up for this. Like we pay money for this. And so it's like you don't want to fail yourself.
Mhm.
But I think too is like when you get off the rails, you have this backing of like this whole program and to get back on the rails. When like before I didn't have this to hold me accountable and I would fall off the rails. And one day would turn into a weekend, and then that weekend would turn into a week. And then it's like next thing you know, I was back to my old ways. And so I don't know. I think that like the program is just it's so helpful to stay on track.
Good.
And
Do you
accountability thing.
feel, yes, and accountability is
Mhm.
huge. And just kind of knowing that, like you said, there is a community in your corner. There are people that are understanding, that know exactly what you're going through. I love our, chats that moms will post in our private group and say, like, anybody have this with their toddler?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Or it's
yes.
like ideas. Yeah. Like the idea sharing is like, I think I struggled with lunches early on. I was like, send me your lunch recipes. Like, let me get lunch ideas. And so I think it's just like those quick things that we can use or just like ask and get like, because everyone's probably going through very similar things,
Mhm.
whether it be like looking for recipes or struggling to find the motivation to do a workout or toddler meltdowns. Like, it's just nice when
Every
you're
day.
like with a group of like relatable people that very, like really helps for sure.
So what do you feel like? Do you feel like you've had like breakthroughs, takeaways, so that you can now rely less on that accountability aspect
Mhm.
and feel like you've truly made some of these things lifestyle changes?
Yeah, for sure. I think that if you would have asked me that month one, I would have been like, like we're getting there.
Mhm.
But now like 12 weeks and I feel a lot more confident. My mindset is different. Like if we go out to dinner, I'm not, I'm like, it's just like my mind is like, okay, like what's the better option? And I just go to that instead of something that I probably would have ordered 3.5 months ago.
Mhm.
So no, I think that like at this point, like I'm ready to like move on with the less accountability and like I'm very excited for the Stronger Mama program because you're still there, like you're still in my court and helping me with the workout side of things. But no, I feel like in the 12 weeks, like I've built new habits. My mindset is so different. I wake up and like look forward to my workouts because I know that I'll feel better after I do them. So yes, I do think that like my whole mindset and like my habits have shifted so much in the past 12 weeks.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing all of that with our audience. Do you have anything else that you would want to share or want to say to somebody thinking about joining this?
Yeah, no, I think that looking back to 12 weeks, it was scary taking this. Well, I guess 13 weeks technically. It was scary to take the leap and just like sign up because I knew I was betting on myself. Um, but I look back like where I was like 13 weeks ago, and it was not, I did not have as easy of a time of like running around in the backyard with my 3-year-old or carrying her when she was having a meltdown at a park. Like I was high, I was sweaty, I was uncomfortable. And now I find myself like signing up for her school events. Like I just have more confidence to do that. And
Mhm.
we chase each other in the backyard now and like I can run with her and we can hula hoop and like just do all these things that like 13 weeks ago I was not doing it. So like I feel like I did it for myself, but I also really did it for my 3-year-old to just like be a better and like healthier version of myself for her because now I want to go do those like fun things. And like she's in gymnastics now and like I feel like I can help her like run around the gymnastics mats. When like 13 weeks ago I was so uncomfortable, like I didn't want to do that. And
Mhm.
so I find myself just being more active and like that alone has been like totally worth it. Like all these other things are fantastic, but that is like the one thing that I'm like so proud of and like so happy of that like I can do those things now. Like that's my favorite part about all this, really.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about it, do it.
Well, I
It's
love that so much. And I love that you shared that because, like you said, yes, the physical goals and those things are great, right? They boost the confidence, they feel amazing. Those are usually, the tipping point to start a goal, but everything else that follows, your relationship with food, the way you go out to eat, like you said, the relationship you have with your daughter that is now likely different because of this energy that you have to, play with her and probably manage her temper tantrums and all of the things. Like it is
yes.
just a complete game changer. So I'm so appreciative of you sharing that. And obviously I'm loving that I get to continue working with you in our kind of maintenance level program. Cause like you said, you have all the tools that you need, but just having that like support system, the community of moms, the workouts still, it's
Yeah,
just so much nicer. It takes the guesswork out of things, clears up mental space in your own brain, right? To keep
yeah,
pushing. So
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, so that's great. Well, thank you so much again, Alexis.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. I feel like that's just like made me reflect on the last 13 weeks. I'm just like, yeah, no, so it's like emotional, but it's good.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Truly, like when you sent me that video, I was like crying. Like, oh my gosh. Just
It's crazy.
it's
It's hard to commit to something when like
Mhm.
life is so chaotic, but I think that like prioritizing this has been so huge. And I was even like talking to my husband as like just like health anxiety like has like decreased so much. Like things like that. Like just like 13 weeks ago, I was always like so anxious and like nervous, like thinking of the worst possible things. And now it's like, oh, like I'm actually taking care of myself. So like now I feel better. I feel less anxious. Like my body hurts less after I work all day. And so it's just like the littlest things. And like, so I don't know. I'm just so thankful, genuinely. I'm sad that the 13 weeks is over, but I'm excited for the next part.
yeah,
But no, I just want you to know that I'm so thankful,
thank you.
genuinely.
Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome.
I like, oh, I get emotional because I think I have a hard time receiving that. And I think I have a hard time sometimes believing that I helped foster
You
that.
did. You
Um,
did. You really did. I think that with like between the resources and like learning so much through those resources, like I literally as I'm doing bedtime with Addie, I'm like sitting in her room while she's trying to fall asleep, like pull them up and I watch them and just it's done a whole like mindset, like 180. Like it's amazing. So you know, you really, really, really have helped. So yeah, major kudos to you. Thank you. Thank you. It was rocky at first, like it was hard. But now I'm like, I'm loving it. Like I love working out in the morning and I have such a long way to go to where I am at like my end goal. But like I don't think I would not be here right now if it wasn't for the stronger or strong mama program. I wouldn't be here. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. I am
Means a
forever
lot.
thankful. Yeah, no, I'm forever thankful.
Good. Well, good. Okay. Well,
I know, I'm like, sorry, but I want you to know that because it has been huge. And like even my mom's like, there's a huge change in just like the way that I act now and like the foods that I'm eating, like the choices that I'm making. And so it's so nice. And I thought to myself, like before we met today, I'm like, I want her to know like how thankful I am and just how this really has changed me. So genuinely appreciate you so much.
thank you so
I didn't mean to make you emotional. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's
It-
okay. I just think this month has been rough because am always like I just want to help more people and I've been struggling to bring more people into this program in this world and of course it makes me second guess myself.
Yeah,
So just for you to understand, I truly needed to
yeah.
hear that today. So
No, I'm glad. I'm happy to share that. I think and I'm always like to like if I have a friend that's like, hey, like how'd you do? Like I have a friend that's pregnant literally right now. And I'm like,
Mhm.
when you have the baby and you're ready to like do the next thing, because she's already like, you're killing it. Like, let's do like what are you doing? And I'm like, hey, like I'll let you know all about it after you have the baby. Like
Yeah.
I would recommend you to anyone that I knew that was like in that point of life that wanted to like make a change and like just take a leap because it is a leap.
Mhm.
It's a whole commitment for sure. So yeah, no, I would 100% and whatever I can do to like help people or like help people find you, like I'm here for it. So
Buddy, so I will give $100 like towards like your next
yeah.
month in your program or whatever
Oh,
anytime
okay.
that somebody is referred directly.
Yeah, no, it's good to
So
know for sure. No, it's good to know. I feel like, yeah, I know. I'm always like, everyone should do this now.
I mean, I think so,
I
but
know I'm like, everyone should do it because I just feel like I know I literally just said something very similar, but it's like I look back 13 weeks ago and I'm just like such a happier, like healthier version of myself. So it's like, why wouldn't someone want to do that? But yeah, no, it is a commitment. It's like I get it. So I won't force my friends, but if anyone ever brings it up, I will let them know.